Okay. Alright. Man, I'm tired. Yo, what
Yo, what
up?
up?
My boy. How you doing?
Yo, how we doing, bro? Chilling. We're chilling, bro. It's Thanksgiving, having some good food, having some drinks. You already
Mind
know.
you, this episode is gonna be released December, so like
Okay.
I already have one with Denny, so it's gonna be pre-recorded, so I don't really care. I'm uploading the Denny
Okay.
one first, and then later on, this one's gonna be uploaded around what, December 12th? Probably just gonna do this
hmm
like twice a month because I'm too fucking lazy. So
Yeah, me
anyway,
too.
happy holidays because
You too, bro.
festivities are coming
hmm
up. But yeah, do you
Yeah, we
wanna
got
introduce
Christmas
yourself
around the
real
corner.
quick? Because I know you very well, obviously, but you're almost forgotten in the SGM community.
That's kind of a good thing to me,
Hmm.
honestly. But um, I'm Hayachi. I used to play Skullgirls very regularly. Number one Fukua fan. Nobody can take that away from me. I don't care who says anything about it. I'm number one. So screw you. And number one splitting image fan also. So eat it, lemon jelly. Gotta make it known.
For real. Damn, a strong start. Well, yeah, what made you wail for Fukua, if you could recall?
Um, I was always a huge Fuku fan since second encore.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friends played regularly, and I actually started as a fortune misfortune main,
Oh.
and I don't know, her head mechanic was really awkward for me to like get used to. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I need an easy character. So I found Fuku and I was like, yo, projectile, she's really good at close quarters. Yeah, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stick with her.
Yeah.
And I was looking through her like the palettes, like the skins and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, just the pink hair, like the purple, the school outfit. I don't know, everything about it was just like, this is a really nice color palette.
Uh-huh.
Stuck with it ever since, and I just completely I kept playing her and and I saw Skullgirls mobile, and I'm like, yo, Fuku's not in here. I hope she gets added. And I
Mm-hmm.
kept every day in the chat, I'd be like, man, I hope Fuku gets added, and I hope her palette 21, which is
Yeah.
um damn, I forgot the name from Dead or Alive.
Oh, was Dead or Alive?
Uh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a Dead or Alive reference, and yeah, I just really wanted her in the game, and they finally released her. I remember the day of the Twitter post, I was so hyped. I was like, I honest to God, I thought they did that for me because like there's not a lot of people who are like Dead or Alive fans. Like if you think about it, like if you go to up to someone and you're like, hey, you play Dead or Alive, they're gonna be like, what's Dead or Alive?
Yeah.
So compared to like, I don't know, adding Daisy, I think she had a Daisy one.
Mm-hmm.
Because she or most of her palettes are like clones of people.
Yeah, that's
And they
true.
had. I honestly thought they were gonna have the Merudo Suzumaki, like the joke
Mm-hmm.
palette they have. I thought that was gonna be like one of the diamonds, but no, it was splitting image, and I was like, it honestly felt because every day in the chat, I would always like, well, not every day, but I'm a little exaggeration, but I would
Mm-hmm.
constantly talk about how I want that one in there, and
Mm-hmm.
she got in, and finally she came out, and I, true to my word, I was like, all right, I'm dropping money till I get like the best one in the game, and I just kept at it.
I do not care how much it takes. I'm getting this
Yeah,
Fuku.
bro, full send, bro. I spent too damn much money. I spent way too much damn money.
Honestly, me and you both, bro. Like, I'm a whale as well. I really wanted Furmonger. I didn't really care
hmm
about hosts, even though this was like a completely different time period for like, especially you as well. But for me, it was like
hmm
me starting out like as a jit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and bro, it was a pain in the ass. I mean, I got the whole stick for like, oh, I like Unholy Host. No, I fucking don't. I hate this character. It's a fucking curse, bro. I pulled her 6 times, and she was broken during that time as well. And
Yeah.
damn, oh my god.
It's funny because we had, like, the opposite luck. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
had a bunch of unholy
Uh-huh.
hosts, and I think I didn't get one until, like, way later, but I had a ton of Furmonger. Like, I got her PA 100 super quick.
Oh yeah, I remember that. God
Eh,
damn.
and I don't even think I, like, spent that much on her. I maybe, like, bought a few of her packs, but,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't spend that much because that by the time Black Dahlia was out, I was kinda like, I was feeling the fatigue of the game and just,
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't continue to I couldn't justify continuing to spend and
Oh yeah, I agree.
playing.
Especially with post Nerf Dahlia, they introduced the backstage pass, and you still technically played up to like season one when Red Rider and Sonic came out. But
Mhm,
after
mhm,
that, you just kind of dropped the game. But
mhm.
besides the fatigue, you felt like the game dying. Was there like any other reason why you just dropped it? Just I'm gonna guess it's boredom's sake, right?
Mhm. It's, it was really a lot of, just lack of content.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, I started SGM in 2019, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I, I remember, playing, like, through the main story,
Mm-hmm.
and, I got to the end. It took me a while, obviously, because, I was, like, new, I was grinding, and I finally got to the end and I saw the coming soon. I'm like, okay, sweet. They got more stuff planned.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get a lot of backstory, origin stories. There was so much content around that time when I started. I was like, wow, this game is really like going somewhere. It's gonna expand on the lore and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they dropped a few more origin stories, but that was it. Like, I've seen coming soon on that main story page for 6 years, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't see the game really, like, developing much more than, like, it's always playing catch up. It's just too slow for its own good. Like, it's adding stuff, but at such a slow pace that by the time they make something new, it's not really something new. Like, for example, like characters. You have, we had Annie, we had, Black Dahlia, Umbrella,
Mm-hmm.
uh and those are new characters, but it's not a new there's no real new game. Like, you're still just playing prize fight and you're still just doing rift. And I guess they added parallel realms, but I mean, that gets pretty old pretty quick. So
No,
it's still
yeah.
it just doesn't feel like there's anything substantially new to really want to continue the game.
Especially for you, you are like a much more seasoned player in technical
Hmm.
terms as well. Me, I could still be counted as like a fresh player that's basically transitioning into veteran kind of deal. Like I agree with you on everything. Like especially with like me, I started around Annie's post debut. I thought there was like a
Hmm.
lot of shit to do, but that's because I was seeing it in rose tinted glasses. The reason why there was a lot is because I haven't played the game much. That's it.
Hmm.
And the moment you get down to it, grind the fuck out of the game, max out story mode, even on master, max out prize fights, even try rifts
Yeah.
every now and then, you will eventually realize that you are gonna come at a halt because
Hmm.
you're gonna have so many fucking fighters you don't know what the fuck to do with them, and some you're not even gonna
Yeah.
use for like months straight, like straight up. Like you could look at band or any niche annies that nobody uses every now and then. You're just gonna be stuck at level 60 for like God knows how long.
Yep.
And that's the problem. The collection is way too bloated. Story mode is really, really slow to catch up with, especially with people who already maxed out story mode. And there's not a lot
Hmm.
to go on about. And there's also the problem with the story mode, right? Let's say they do add more story mode. Any old player would immediately max that out. Obviously,
Yep.
I don't blame them at all in saying that kind of argument because, well, no shit, we are gonna max it out. we want more for this game, really.
Hmm.
And better yet, no parallel realms, no mercy. A lot of players will struggle with that. I agree. But like once you make it to endgame, you will realize how easy it is to dismantle it with like a good set of three teams. You just need an
Hmm.
Apex Complex, Martial Outlaw, or Beast King, Heartless, and maybe Final Fang to basically delete shit. Or the third one would be a Fukua with fucking Harley Quinn support. It's that
Hmm.
fucking easy.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because the game has like so much potential. It's sitting on a pile of gold, like I said last time. They could do so much, but like the development team is really slow, and not only that, but really distant with their player base. I don't know if you remember this, but you're probably gonna get pissed off at me. Do you remember the lemon jelly challenge?
Fortunately, I do.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah, like that was back then when the a development team was like, "Yo, look at these cracked players making some crazy defense sets." Like
Hmm.
that was cool as fuck. Like interacting with the player base and introducing cool challenges like that. I remember Splitting Image being like the a really tanky defender not a lot of people could fucking fight up against. I remember having
Yeah.
to brute force her with a bad hair day and drop myself to 1 HP.
Yeah.
God, I'm old.
Yep. Um, and to that point too, it's always funny because, and I get it because the development team is really small. It's not like
Yeah.
some triple A infinite amount of money like under Activision or something.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always a time where they kind of have to self-reflect and see where they can do better too. Because
Absolutely.
they always say we want to be more transparent with our player base and we want to, give updates, and the next thing you know, the roadmap is like releasing in May halfway through the year, or we don't get any updates on how the game is going or certain features. Guilds
Mm-hmm.
have been coming soon for what, 4 or 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
um and just stuff like that. And it's like, we get it, like stuff doesn't turn out how it how people want it to sometimes,
Yeah.
and mistakes happen. There's, Skullgirls has been through a really like rocky past and is still kind of in a rocky situation with a lot of things. But it's still good to that at least connect with the player base, let them know, hey, this is where we're at. We'd like to be here at this point in time, but we can't count on it. And I think that would at least kind of get a little like burden off of them,
Mm-hmm.
where letting them know where you guys are at, and not promising anything, but just saying, hey, we get it. You guys want this content. We want to release this content for you. It's just we're here and we're not there where we want to be. Versus leaving us in the dark until the end of the year and saying, hey guys, just letting you know, we're still not releasing this just yet, but it'll come soon. Like,
Yeah.
gee, where have I heard that before for the last 5 years?
Counter Strike, Yandere
Yeah. Yep.
No,
Like,
yeah.
wow.
It's frustrating because a lot of people love the fucking game, love the community too. The community is like it's like a lightning in the bottle, if you get what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Especially with other private servers who like basically talk about this game like constantly. And the people I met here like are really fucking funny, and I fucking love some of the peers I met here. They're chill as hell too. And the thing
Hmm.
is with like those kind of communities, the loyalty could only go so far, if you get what I'm saying.
No,
Like
yeah, I agree.
I know Lemon Chord's player base, the ones with the
Hmm.
different private server. Almost all of those
Yeah.
motherfuckers quit. It's 75% of the that server that quit the game entirely, and not
Yep.
quit, but more like just stop playing. Like if not at all. Some even have it uninstalled, and better yet, Kevin also uninstalled one of their biggest content creators out here,
Hmm.
and for good reason
I,
because Endgame sucks. It really does.
yeah, it's not like, so Endgame is really weird because as someone who is in Endgame for Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
another gotcha game,
We'll get back into
and
that later.
yeah, and then being in the end game for Skullgirls mobile is so vastly different because for Nikki, it doesn't require a lot of time. You log in, you like do your dailies for like what 10-15 minutes. It doesn't take that long.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're done. You collect like your little your materials for the day. You do like the little 2 week event they have going on, and then the other dailies that give you some daily material.
Mm-hmm.
And you can log off. You don't have to spend your like an hour on the game.
No,
And then you log
yeah.
into Skullgirls Mobile, you gotta grind through Prize Fight. You gotta grind through Parallel Realms. You gotta grind Rift. You gotta. They finally. It took them so long to add the daily skip for the daily for like whatever they have like on Wednesdays was what Beowulf Valentine.
Yep.
Thursday was what Fukua Pain Wheel.
Damn, you remember this still, even post mortem.
Dude, it. I guess I played that damn game for too long. um,
Damn.
I played that way too damn long,
Mm-hmm.
but they only just added that like not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikkei added that like they heard the feedback from the player base and that they, simulation room, you had to go from the beginning all the way to the end to grab all the rewards. People didn't like doing that because it took so long. It was so boring. They're like, okay, we'll just do the last level of it and you can just claim it all. You can even skip all the way through the boss. You just have to kill the boss, which takes 10 seconds, and you can
Mm-hmm.
claim all the rewards.
Oh yeah.
It took Skullgirls Mobile like 3-4 years to add that. And I had a grind. I remember just waking up groggy as hell. I get ready. And in the middle of like getting ready for work or whatever my day, I would just leave the game autoing battles for dailies because it
Mm-hmm.
took so damn long.
No, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just something that I feel as though they should be a little more receptive and a little more um transparent as they want to be with the player base.
Absolutely. I remember when I was in high school, just grinding my fucking dailies when I was starting pre-whale tomfoolery. I had to fucking
Hmm.
grind the fuck out of that game. I swear to God, it was so annoying doing my dailies. I especially struggled with Squiggly's daily. That was a fucking pain in the ass.
Yep.
God damn. But yeah, the ticket
Squiggly's
function.
daily.
Yeah, but the ticket function was like is recent as hell. Like not a lot of people could understand the time it took for them to make that a thing. And better yet,
Hmm.
um, what's even worse is that like a lot of people put effort into this game with like no sense of reward or accomplishment backed up behind it.
Hmm.
Unlike with other gotcha games, you get rewarded for doing crazy achievements. Like
Yeah.
this is just a brief example. I'll give this is you know Mun Mun and Mitsuki, right?
Yep. Yep.
Basically, those two grinded the hell out of that game together. Stayed up literal hours of the dead of the night to grind to the theoretical, not the theoretical limit, but like past the integer limit of the game's score for prize fights. And this was for the
Hmm.
30 days Halloween prize fight. It took them fucking days, and all sadly all they got was a shout out on Twitter. But don't. This is like a disclaimer. Uh,
Hmm.
I talked with them. I talked with one about it, and they're like, they were happy with what they got, and that's cool. I bless their hearts, right? But at the same time, come on, bro, you could have given them like an exclusive avatar or an exclusive something exclusive, towards
Yeah.
immortalizing that achievement. And
Yeah.
knowing me, I decided to go above and beyond myself. I've done that shit twice. Do I
Hmm.
regret it? Kinda. I won't lie. I lost a
Yeah.
lot of sleep, bro. I will say that much. The first time I did it, I took Mitsuki's world record. Second time, I took my own world record, which was fucking
Hmm.
insane. I all I gotta say is the sense of repetition Prize Fights has. It will at some point be a memory game because you'll realize, hey, I already fought this person beforehand. I know what they have. I'm good. I'm chilling. Let me just use this team. Whatever.
Yep.
And it sucks because with Nikkei, right? Like you could be grinding the fuck out of the game. Like let's say you're grinding was it like Rookie Arena, right?
Hmm.
You could be doing it's basically kind of the same thing, not really. But you could just skip through the entire bullshit. I just wish SGM implemented that with prize fights in a unique way. Like, let's say you don't have to fight like 50 players and just fucking skip to like 50 wins, you know, and then just
Hmm.
continue on from there. I mean, it doesn't give the value to wins anything more. Like, wins already become a joke now because the streak restoration thing became a thing, and you get a free
Yeah.
one, and then you just spend 25 on that. I abused the fuck out of that ever since, and haven't stopped.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's
Nice.
cool. I like it, but at the same time, it's kind of bullshit, you know, because how long did it take for them to make that? It took them fucking years.
Yeah.
It's so
Um,
whack.
something that I've seen a lot of people recommend is after a certain level, like because I remember them saying when Rift 1.0 came out, I believe
Mm-hmm.
they said that the people you get matched with is based off your collection.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a pretty cracked collection, you would be pitted against people who have a similar collection to what you have. So
Mm-hmm.
that way you can't, just drop all the way to the bottom and then curb stomp your way back up and get like free points or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if they implemented that in prize fight, where based off your collection, if you have a strong enough collection, you can just skip to streak 16 where it starts like getting hard where they add the multiplier
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
versus having to like just auto, instantly load. Another thing is the loading screens. Load into a match. It takes like what 3-4 seconds for them to even start. You do one
Correction.
move.
They fixed the loading screens and actually made them faster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, this is based off of what I remember, but
Yeah.
it was always just load in, wait like 4 or 5 seconds for the match to start. You do like a sweep move, like you just swipe down and they like do a strong sweeping move
Mm-hmm.
that would usually instantly kill the enemy because they're like level like 1000 combat power or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you load out of you get all the little rewards. You getting no XP because your fighters were probably level 60 already diamond,
Mm-hmm.
and you get all your rewards, and then you load out of the screen again into the prize fight menu again, and you do that over and over. And it was just so mind numbing. It was just like
No, yeah, starting
after.
streaks is also a pain still nowadays, even with the faster transitions, faster loading times, especially with the auto battle thing. They added like
Hmm.
a fast forward kind of deal. That's cool. At the same
Hmm.
time, it still feels mind numbing, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't just let you skip to a certain point.
No,
It just
yeah, I
doesn't make any
agree.
sense.
I agree. Yeah, prize fights are just watching paint dry. Have you seen these fucking deals that they have on the website, like skullgirls.com or Skullgirls
What?
Mobile?
No.
There was well recently, I don't know, you haven't played much, but I'll just catch you up right now. They added guest stars, which basically means it's like assist trophies from Mortal Kombat or Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Hmm.
So they added those, and they are a lot of people have mixed opinions about them. I don't like them. Denny likes them. Some players like them. Some players hate them. So it's a lot of back and forth. But the way it boils down to is just an extra move,
Oh,
really, an
yeah.
extra move that you can max to level 20, which
Hmm.
is fucking ridiculous. For one, it costs 4 million to max it without it being a shiny, and yes, it's shiny moves, and
Yeah,
two
you
million to just max it when it's shiny. And what's even worse is they have stats, and I'm like,
two
why?
2 million total
Two
or
million for it being a shiny, maxing it to level 20. 4 million to max it without it being a shiny.
but total like it only costs 2 million for from 1 to 20 is two
Yes,
million.
2 million.
Okay, that's not that bad.
And for
Isn't a regular gold move like five 5 million?
I gotta check that. I know it's 3 mil for sure. A regular gold move to 15 is like what, 3 mil, I believe. Or I could be wrong actually. But other than that, like it's 4 million just to max one a regular guest star, and it's fucking insane because let me just ask you this: do you think they have their own custom retakes?
Do they?
No,
They might.
no, they don't. They use gold
Oh.
retakes. You know how rare those are already. Oh no.
The gold ones, didn't you get those from that one prize fight? Show me your moves.
Yeah, you
Didn't
get
you
them,
give
but they're
those?
not a lot. You only get like what, three at most, four? And you know the RNG in this game is fucking horrendous with moves. It's god awful.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, after playing Nikkei, I kind of give Skullgirls Mobile a pass.
Really?
If you have seen The Rock, so Nikkei, in order to change stats on like your gear,
Hmm.
you have to spend a custom module, or a lot of people just call it a rock because it looks like a little blue rock.
Yeah, I have like 50 of those still.
Yeah, so once you start getting to end game and you need a ton of characters,
Hmm.
the first line, so you get three. So just like Skullgirls Mobile, there's like three lines, but
Right.
it's not guaranteed to have three lines. There's slots for them, but you don't always guarantee one. So the
Hmm.
top one is always guaranteed. You're always guaranteed a top line. The second line has a 50% chance that you get a line, and then the third line is a 30% chance. And then on top of that, obviously there's like stats, so you can like the percentage. So you could get like a really low attack percentage or a really high one, and it still costs rocks to change those percentages. So let's say you use a rock and you roll a move and you only get one line on the top. Now you have to spend lines or spend rocks to try to fill up those other lines. But these rocks are really hard to come by. The special interception, which is one of the dailies you do,
Hmm.
roughly on average from what I've done, you're getting maybe 1 to 2 rocks a day.
Three if you're lucky.
3 if you're lucky. 3 if you're lucky. But you're roughly on average going to get probably 2 rocks a day,
Hmm.
if that. So now imagine you have 4 pieces of gear that all need rocks,
Oh
and
no.
then you have to fish for lines on each of these. So if you you have a good headgear, but now your boot gear has really bad lines, you're going to spend a ton of rocks trying to roll on that one, and then you move on to your chest piece gear, and then you get more bad luck, and you're just sinking rocks and rocks, and it takes forever. Versus Skullgirls Mobile, at least, the only good thing about Skullgirls Mobile is now it doesn't matter what lines get dropped on the move. It just matters how much investment it goes into a single line. So if you, I think I made like a little guide video on how to level
Hmm.
up your moves like really
Uh-huh.
effectively.
Yeah.
So if you just get like a move you need, for example, Inevitable Snuggle on
Hmm.
Fuku, a very good move. It's command grab. It heals you. It doesn't crit, so it's very good to use against
Pain wheel.
uh pain wheel. Yeah, tainted pain wheels. You get one of those. You level it to, let's say, like level 9, and you
Hmm.
get 5 rolls on a single like one stat.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty good. You can generally I would take that move to like 12, and by that time if you get really lucky, it'll have like 7 investments into one stat. Then all you have to do is spend a couple of retakes to get it to what you want. Attack, HP, piercing, whatever. It's generally attack or HP percent because you don't want
Hmm.
27% piercing on a single move.
No, yeah.
Um
That's fucking gross.
so yeah. So yeah, you can easily build like a whole set very quickly if you just kind of follow that way. But for Nikkei, it's so much longer. It's so much longer to actually be able to invest. So I going to a worse system, I kind of appreciate Skullgirl's system a little bit more now.
Hmm.
Um but yeah, there it's really just the economy of Skullgirls that's really fucked. It's not really the system, it's just their economy.
Hmm.
There's too many things taking up coins and materials, and not enough things that give you coins. You
Yeah.
have to level up moves. You have to invest in fighters that are really fucking expensive. It's like what, 6 million to invest a full diamond.
Yup.
Um, and then you have to drop. Okay, so it's 3 million. You said for a single golden move,
I
and
believe
there's
so,
5 of
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So that's 15 million for a whole set of moves, and now another 4 million move. That's what, 25 million coins?
Fuck.
25 million coins for a single fighter.
Yeah, I don't know how I made it
That
this far in this game. I wailed, but like I don't know about the other players.
yeah, and I mean, the deals I'll say are pretty good from time to time. Um, since I have, some expendable cash, I don't really care to
Mm-hmm.
if I spend $10 and get like 5 million coins or whatever. That's like whatever, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
But um, at least pull wise, which is obviously the mainstay of gacha,
Mm-hmm.
the big reason people like to play the game, they see pretty colors and good animation, and you gamble, and you're like, oh my god, it's glowing purple. I got a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the offers in that game are also pretty good. They give you like um a lot of packs that will give you a lot of pulls.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the hyper one, the hyper pack for Christmas. It's like 5,000 gems, which is
Yeah.
only like what, 25-30 bucks for like 200 plus pulls.
Yup.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal right there.
Also, I gotta agree with you as well with the offers that they give out because they also they reintroduced the old it wasn't old but it was recent. There was the triple offers for one time where you get like 15,000 Theonite for like that one time purchase.
Oh yeah, the
Those are
hundred
really
dollar
good
pack.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, those will refresh too. So like
Mm.
even if you buy them, like eventually, like during a big update, I think they'll just refresh it for everybody,
No, yeah, it got
which is
refreshed
also pretty cool.
again with guest stars.
Okay, nice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was also another really good offer they have for that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong with the offers. Some offers are like really good, but like when you think about the general economy, not only the real world but also Skullgirls, spending
Mhm.
$10 on like a 10+1 relic is kind of like robbing yourself. Like, bro, you
Yeah.
lost $10 just so you could get 4 silvers.
Yep. Yep.
And mind you, I've spent a hefty amount with relics. Like, I've already hoarded like a motherfucker since the first backstage pass. It took me
Mhm.
a hot minute to reach like 1,000, and I've been buying the celebration ones for like birthdays for Squiggly, Dahlia, etc. 10+1s for the hyper packs, obviously. It takes a hot minute to do all that, and now the
Mhm.
relic meta is a little bit weird because now you're preparing for the future. It's like holding stock. I've said this previously, but
Yep.
it's like holding fucking stock now. Like, are you just waiting for a unit that you like and then you just save up relics? Reason why you're saving up relics is to build a pity for gold and diamond, and then you
Yeah.
could exchange that for 5,000 of said gems, or what was it like? What's it called again? I forgot the word. Relic shards? Yeah, relic shards.
Yeah. The shards. Yeah.
Now you gotta wait until you max that shit out. I did this with Hexcalibur previously, and it took me like 2,000 something relics to get a max prestige Hexcalibur. And all I needed was what, 5 copies since each is 25, 25, 50, 75. No, it's 4 actually. 25, 50, 7. Yeah, 100. Yeah, it's 4. It's 4. It took me like
Mhm.
I needed 4 of copies. I did it under a day
Yeah.
though, so fuck it. I'm like the one of the few players who've done that.
Yeah. I did see the pity they added,
Hmm.
and I thought it was really cringe.
No, yeah, that's kind of
Um,
whack.
especially because they like it's so expensive. It's like
Hmm.
nearly unobtainable. Like you can't pity two of the diamond. It's like what, 10, it's 10 diamond relics. You need
Hmm.
10 diamond relics to get the two the exclusives for the month or whatever.
Hmm. I talked about
Um
it too, like with Denny. I told him they should buff the conversions on diamonds because you get nothing from them, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I think that would be good. Or just I absolutely love the way Nikkei does it,
Mhm.
because for every pull, you're always building a pity. So you
Mhm.
don't have to be pulling like on a band. Well, okay, they have two separate pities. They have like the free, like the standard pull pity,
Mhm.
and that'll only give you enough tickets to buy characters that are rotate, like a specific character selection that'll always be there rotating in the shop.
Mhm.
But then they have a different pity set of tickets for when you pull on the rate up banner, the one that's currently going for whatever new character that was released. Those are gold.
Mm-hmm.
Those will let you be used on any character that's in the shop that's the current rate up. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people will save those for pilgrims, the really rare, really generally really good Nikkeis that you want to get, but they also have a really low chance to get because they're so rare. They only have like a 1% chance to drop.
Oh
Um
yeah.
Compared to I think like the 4% that's like regular rate up when they release like just any random character. So it's just I think that's way better because let's say there's generally a lot of people like to pull on the Christmas and summer units
Mm-hmm.
because they're exclusive to those seasons. So they get a lot of pity. They get a lot of mileage. If you pull, you get like, 200, 400, whatever amount of mileage tickets, and you keep pulling. Let's say there's like another good character that has a rate up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you pull on them, more mileage. And then finally, like a really good character comes out and you need them, you pull on them, you don't win, you lose the gamble, whatever. You have your pity. You can instantly get them, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nikkei or not Nikkei, Skullgirls is just like, oh, hey guys, you guys didn't save all your diamond relics. Too bad. We released pity right now. Better get grinding.
Yeah, it was so sudden when they dropped it too. Like I was laughing like a megalomaniac
Like,
because my prediction
dude,
came through. I'm like, there's no way. I thought I was seeing shit. I'm like, no, nah, y'all can't be dropping this now.
I think that was really what solidified. Like, I do not want to play this game anymore.
No, I
Like,
I agree with you.
yeah, that really like was kind of like a nail in the coffin. Like, there was a point where I was kind of teetering. Like, I think I had uninstalled, but I had played
Mm-hmm.
the game for so long. I was like, I might as well. Like, I don't want to let my account to just rot or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, maybe I'll reinstall. I'll get back on the grind. I lost a couple days. It's fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they released that, and I looked at my relics that I had just opened, probably not that long ago, because they had put in up another stupid thing is how
Apex.
they the Apex and the way they do their the release of new characters like in a big update a big update patch that comes like 9 months later.
Yeah.
Oh, at the beginning of the new batch of characters you didn't get the one you wanted.
Too bad.
Too bad, loser.
For
Wait a
real.
year before they
No,
get
yeah.
added to the poll. It's so bad.
I'm
Nikki's
sad because I feel like the only one who predicted this whole mess without even trying. Or hell, even didn't realize I fucking predicted that was gonna
Mhm.
happen. And it's sad too because the way that system works back before the exchange system came out was like a desperate attempt like of just cash. I mean, don't get me wrong. HBS needs their money to get this game going, obviously. But at some
Yeah.
point when the shard exchange system dropped, it was way too fucking late at that point. Like not a lot of players
Yep.
already opened their relics. Hardly anybody's insane enough to save them remotely. And now that
Yeah.
they added such a feature, those who saved those relics are gonna fucking laugh like maniacs like myself.
Yeah.
I'm still fucking
It's
geeked out
just
about that fucking read. I'm like, no.
yeah, like it's just they take like a step in the right direction
And
and it
then
takes them two steps back.
yeah, like they take one step and then they fucking slip off the fucking staircase.
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
it
Right back
sucks.
down. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
let's go
yeah.
into Nikkei because we've been fucking talking about SGM a lot. How did you get into
Mhm.
Nikkei?
Um Mina, a good friend, she would like occasionally send me like a Twitter post from like the Nikkei official Twitter showcasing like a new Nikkei.
Yeah.
And I think I saw one of like Noir or Blanc or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And I was like, whoa. I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Like, what the heck is this game? And at the time I was still, I think, kind of like invested in Skullgirls. So I was like, yeah, like I don't think I want to play another gotcha right now. Like it looks cool, but they're just sitting there shooting at like like enemies. Like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of lame.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like think much of it, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
then again, she sends me. I think they were having their summer event. She sends me like a post of Summer and Nice, and I'm like, whoa, okay, it's still very appealing, but still they're just sitting there shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, whatever. I'm not too interested just yet. Until finally they had their Nier Automata collab,
Oh, the 2B
and I
one?
saw,
Yeah.
I saw 2B. The moment I saw 2B, I was like, okay, I fold, and I downloaded it. And I was really busy at the time. I was very focused on work,
Mm-hmm.
because I really wanted to get a promotion at
Mm-hmm.
the time. So I was very invested and very focused on work. And then I also had I had recently been in a car accident, and
Oh
then I
shoot.
also had a vacation.
Damn, that's some
So
crazy ass lore.
yeah,
We'll get
so
back into
at
that
like
later.
no, yeah, it was nothing like too crazy. It was like a car accident or whatever, and my mind wasn't really focused on playing games. It was just I'm gonna go on vacation. I just had a car accident. I'm not gonna really be on my phone, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go on vacation, and then Mina's like, hey, the Nier event is gonna end soon. I was like, oh fuck. And so I immediately got to like playing the game, and I was like, oh, I gotta like grind my dailies, I gotta do this, I need to push the story so I can get gems, so I can get more pulls. And that's when I kind of realized, like, I was reading the story, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of good. I was like, holy crap, I kind of wonder where things are gonna go next. And
Mm-hmm.
they were very generous. They had like a ton of stuff. Like they gave me a bunch of polls and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting treated very good. I was like, this isn't like SGM. And
Yeah.
so I just stuck. I was just like, Nikkei treats me pretty good. Like they have oh, right after that too was the Red Hood event,
Oh
their first
yeah.
anniversary too. So
Mm-hmm.
it was very huge, and I was just like in the middle of it, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, like damn, this is very intense and very cool. And I was just enjoying everything it had to offer, and I was like, whoa, actual content, actual updates consistently. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm hooked, I can't believe it.
Bro, for me it was like
And
a whole different kind of deal because
mhm,
Mina, shout out Mina by the way. She also recommended me to try out Nikkei. Shout out my boy over here as well.
mhm,
I heard about like all the positive shit going on, like the generous gotcha rates, the story mode,
mhm,
fucking jiggle physics, obviously. And I'm like, at first I was thought at first I thought, dude, this is just a Coomer game. Spoiler alert, it
mhm.
is. Duh, no fucking shit.
Yeah,
But
clearly,
anyway,
yeah.
like I got into it briefly, saw the story mode every now and then, but I kind of just gave up on it because who else dropped before Crown? It was Scarlet Black Shadow, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was
That was
her.
the
I
new year,
played
yeah.
briefly, and you told me about her and some shit. I'm like, I'm probably gonna drop it. And
Mhm,
then a couple months went by, right? More shit happened,
yeah.
more story came around. I'm like, you know what? Let me try it out. Like this time for real. Like let me just try it out completely. I went into it. I'm like, okay, this is the story mode actually is kind of gas. I won't lie. I'll basically just debrief right now. It's basically AI took over the fucking world and now everybody's living underground. Human
Yeah.
experimentation to turn fucking humans into weapons of mass destruction. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yo, there's no way it goes that deep, bro. Pause. No
Yep,
Diddy. And I'm like,
indeed.
Jesus. Who the fuck came up with this? Is this Mr. fucking who was that one guy who made Berserk? What was the author's name? I forgot.
Um, was it Kentaro? I think it was Kentaro Miura.
Yeah, it sounds like some Kentaro Miurma work, and I'm like, dog, how? How do you find the perfect balance between fucking fan service and like heavy ass lore like that? Holy shit. And that's what really interested me because a lot of people was like, "Oh, you play for the jiggle physics." Now, motherfucker, I play for the lore. I want to see what crazy shit they come up with.
Yeah, exactly. And
And
it's very near Automata vibes.
for
Like
real,
it's very similar to that. If
fun
anyone's played
fact,
it,
I played a little bit of it. I got into like chapter 1, but I haven't finished it yet. I got to finish that fucking game too.
mhm.
Oh no. Don't spoil shit though, but like if you know kind of deal. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, I also have not finished it.
Bruh.
I got like maybe 10% of the way through. There's just so many side missions that I got sidetracked, and I was like, huh,
No,
I'm not
yeah.
really getting anywhere, and I stopped playing.
Isn't this like a pre-COVID game as well? Or am I
Yeah, I think it was like 27. It's 27. It
It
released on the
still
PS4.
holds up. Like it looks fucking clean to this day. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Halo
a
3 also holds up very well as a
yeah.
2007 game.
No, yeah, and let me just get back. Like, I accidentally pulled for Crown like three, I think it was four times actually. So when Crown came around, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, she's cute as hell, and also like she got the vibes. She's like, she on that real shit. She a real one type shit.
Yeah, she's very goofy as well.
No, but yeah, when she locks in, she fucking locks the fucking like
Mm-hmm.
she's a keeper, like basically wife material. I'm simping over
Yep.
Crown.
Crown number Crown number one B2 right now. Burst 2.
Yeah,
Top.
I like I haven't finished with Nikkei's story. I'm at what chapter 2022 ish
Oh.
when Dorothy pulled up to the Ark and they were just fucking raptures invading. I got to
Oh
that
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know much after that. I gotta finish the story mode. I'm guessing it's gonna be some Hotline Miami shit ending, you know? Where it's like it's not gonna
It's
be good. I feel like it's not gonna be good, but don't tell me anything because I know you played all through chapter 30.
yeah, I'm caught up. The new chapters they already released like a month ago.
Oh,
34 or 33 and 34 already
oh,
finished.
oh my fucking god, I gotta
Um
catch up. I'm at chapter 20 fucking son.
I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan. Like they're good chapters, but they're not great in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Okay,
You
okay.
you might have a different opinion, but I personally felt like they were a little overplayed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if if I were to describe them, they felt very repetitive, I guess.
You're right.
Um,
Mm,
so yeah, it was decent. I mean, like I said, I'll take something over nothing.
true that, true that.
So
I
like I
just
said,
like the
Skull World
depth it
Mobile, step
goes
up.
with it because you could collect these little things like artifacts and it just tells you even more about what fucking happened when humanity got fucking smoked by a fucking tin can.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about like people fucking fooling around with these robots. Like there was a, I remember this one pretty clearly, where they were like live streaming some shit, like "Yo, I'm out here fucking killing these robots" type shit, and then a couple more artifacts later, it reveals that dude was fucking eaten alive by a
Yeah,
robot. I'm like, what the fuck? And it adds even more depth because like not only do you see the maps that you play around at, like it also tells a story too. Even though it looks insignificant, the more attention, the more you pay attention to the surroundings around said maps, even though it's all chivis, like you see the fucking destruction, you see what the fuck happened
yeah,
whenever, and whenever they add the artifacts to it, just it gives you it gives you a story to imagine that it gives. I'm like, damn, that's fucked.
yeah. It's very in depth. It's very immersive. Like it
Hmm.
gives you a lot of tidbits and it's very world building
Hmm.
to where you really feel like you are humanity's last hope
Hmm.
to get out of the underground.
No, yeah. I don't know if you played this game, but it's called Omori. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. I haven't played it. I heard it's like inspired by Earthbound,
Yep.
so I want to play it eventually. I just haven't gotten around to it.
No, yeah, the game is basically like I mentioned previously with other peers. That game made me fucking cry. I swear to God. I like not a lot of games could pull that shit out of me. Undertale did
Hmm.
that for me. What other games did it? I know Red Dead is also really fucking heavy and I was like, fuck. It like the moment you're done with the game, you just sit down and just let it sink in, you know? You just think about everything you fucking play through and you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
It's those kind of games like are like one in a million, but like there's so many of them. Like it's I'm gonna call it literal fucking art because it's that. That's art.
yeah.
That's fucking art, baby. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people say like Omori got ruined by the franchise, and I gotta say I agree. Like the franchise is a little weird. No, no, not the franchise, but the fan base. I mean, the fan base is a
Mhm,
little bit weird, but like that comes with every fucking game. No shit, it doesn't matter. But the
mhm,
story of Omori, I'm not gonna spoil it for you because that's a really good game. But what I'm gonna say is the attention to detail and the depth it has with just the visuals as well as the clues it leaves you behind. The more you read into it, it basically plays out as a um I would say I'm trying to avoid spoilers here. It's tough,
yeah.
but it basically plays down as you solving a mystery, and when you solve it, it fucking hits you like a freight train. And like, there's multiple endings to Omori, some good, some bad, some fucking horrible, actually. And it tells you a story that like there is an ending, but like it could only be true to what you could do, I suppose.
Mhm,
And I think I fuck with that because not a lot of people would say, "Oh, this is the good ending" or "This is the bad ending." A lot of people would just collectively agree that there's one ending that makes sense. So I would also
yeah.
agree with that. But sometimes you just got to play through all the outcomes and see what the possibilities are or could happen. And Omori
Mhm,
does that very very well. Sure, there's a lot of grindy moments here and there. Obviously, it's a fucking what's it called, like a Persona kind of a game. It's an RPG, obviously.
yeah, RPG.
Yeah, it's like an RPG kind of grindy shit with psychological horror bullcrap. I gotta say,
Mhm,
like it nails it. It nails I'm gonna spoil it a little bit, but it nails down trauma very well.
mhm.
The moment you see the jump scares, it's not like some bullshit. It's more like it teases you, but it never hits you with a jump scare. Like those VHS tapes from like Five Nights at Freddy's, which I fucking love, by the way, because they really know
Mhm.
how to nail down horror, know to nail down that fear of dread that someone's gonna fucking smoke you.
Yeah.
And damn, like, you have anything like horror related that you like?
Um, horror related. I'm not a big fan of horror, and not because I'm scared of it,
Uh huh.
but I rationalize horror too much
Oh. Mm-hmm.
to like be scared of it. So, for example, if I go watch a scary movie, as I'm watching it, my brain just realizes this is a movie. There's gonna be jump scares or like
Mm-hmm.
points in time where the movie will have like like a quiet scene and
Yeah.
suspenseful and like it's drawing out, and I'm like, okay, something's about to happen clearly. Like I know what's gonna happen. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't enjoy horror as many people do, but for a while I there was something that I did find a little unsettling, and that was kind of like analog horror and liminal spaces that that did kind of get me a little unsettled for a while, because I would think about um places I've been. There's a mall nearby that has essentially closed down. It actually was used for a television show, not to dox myself because it's nearby, but I'm not gonna
Okay.
say what
Okay.
television show. But
Don't worry. Don't worry.
it was used in a television show, and I thought about it and I was like, I remember being there, and it was like a really cool place, and I always wanted to go with like my family, like my parents, and look at it, and now it's like an empty shell. It's a husk. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing there. And I think about that and I'm like, this used to be a place where tons of people would come by. I'd see all kinds of people, other kids, other families. There was employees there working at the GameStop that I'd love to like walk into, because there's tons of games, Nintendo, like Mario,
Mm-hmm.
Xbox, PlayStation. And now it's all gone. It's just like that. Like not even, it's not really like an instant thing, but like over time things fade, things go by, and when you come back to think about it, it feels a little weird. It's like nostalgic, but it's like worrying, because then you realize you're kind of headed in that same way. Like, everyone's life eventually comes to an end. You will just be gone. Just much like that
No, yeah.
mall or much like anything else, everything will have an ending, and it gets a little unsettling to think about, like making that weird connection between that thing you used to go to frequently and have good memories in is now gone, and same with you. You are a person with memories and feelings and things, and eventually you will be gone. So it's like a weird, that was unsettling for me for a while, just because I had that weird connection to it. But
Hmm.
aside from that, I haven't played many horror games. I remember there was some friends telling me to play Outlast. I might have it, but I've never actually played it.
Hmm.
Um, um, the last movie I watched that was a horror movie, I think, was Insidious: The Red Door.
Red Door.
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, it was like Red Door, something. It was something about a door that he kept like walking through, and
Hmm.
like I said, it wasn't really that scary to me. I was just watching because I didn't watch any of the other ones,
I
so
know
I was
me
just
and
kind of.
you. I don't know if you remember this movie, but I recommend you to watch Midsummer. That one was fucking weird.
Yeah, we watched it. We did watch that.
Uh
I
huh.
think you were there.
I was there. Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, that's more in the vein of that analog horror, I
Hmm.
guess. I would put it more in like the unsettling nature of analog horror versus like a horror in terms of like um Nightmare on Elm Street or something.
Yeah.
It's more just like it's just like kind of weird, unsettling shit that you're like, what?
Hmm.
Like these look like nice people, but next thing you know, you turn around, they're doing some weird shit,
No,
and
yeah.
you're like, what the
Midsummer
hell?
basically nails down the way cults work, almost down to a T. This is major
Hmm.
spoilers. If you haven't watched Midsummer, I'd recommend you to watch it. But other than that, I'm going to spoil it. I don't give a shit. That film is pretty old now. Go fucking watch it.
Yeah.
But what me and Hayo were watching was basically this girl who lost her family in such a brutal way that she couldn't cope with it, or basically had troubling nightmares about it. And later on, her and her boyfriend had like a troubled relationship between each other. And then one day, the boyfriend wanted to go to Switzerland, right? He wanted to go to Switzerland and basically check out what the fuck they're doing over there because there's some cool shit going down over there. Especially someone who lives in Switzerland recommends him to go to this village, and some other homies join up. Blah blah blah. They hook up. They smoke some weed. Like literally, they did fucking Reggie. No, it's not Reggie. I'm joking. But they were smoking pot, obviously, and she was. You know how I have a personal experience with pot, but like I'll get into that later. But yeah, they were doing weed, and with weed, you have to be in the proper mental state in order to do it, because if you're not in a good mood and you do weed, your emotions will amplify tenfold. Either you're in a really good mood, or your mood becomes even worse. and
Yeah,
uh
definitely.
and after that, they went to the village. Turns out this village was really weird, really antique with their teachings. And later on, they basically use your own emotions against you, to the point that you don't even realize what the fuck you're doing, and you're just doing it for the sake of simply doing it. And it got to the point where she caught her boyfriend cheating with one of the village girls, and it was like the weirdest scene possible. This is like straight TOS. I'll get demonetized if I talk about it. Yeah,
Yep.
it got so weird to that point where like she wanted to see her boyfriend burn alive. Spoiler alert, yeah, he got put into a bear, a literal skinned alive bear, and got burnt alive. And the cool part about Midsummer is, right, like there's clues left around telling the story how it's gonna play out. And if you rewatch it, you'll immediately notice some small details, like a drawing of a bear in a blanket, or some girl doing some weird shit with a knife, and it all plays out in the fucking movie, and it's like that's pretty cool. I won't lie. That's one of the films that like actually got me, and I'm like, it didn't necessarily scare me and made me stay up late, and it scared me in a way that people could be fucking dangerous if they know what they're doing. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
and that's
yeah.
scary.
Mhm.
But yeah, what were you gonna say?
No, yeah, I was just gonna reinforce that point of like it's just unsettling to
Mm-hmm.
think about what people are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Um in terms of just stuff like that, the human mind is just like a really weird thing that can be manipulated and
Mm-hmm.
um be just shaped by its surroundings. One thing I remember from the movie was like I wouldn't say that their emotions were necessarily used against them, but it was more so like coercion. Like if you weren't a part of like their herd, they would essentially do bad things to you. So you're almost like forced to join
Mm-hmm.
because well, do you want to live? If you want to live, then follow what we say.
Mm-hmm.
Um and eventually once you do that long enough, you're like, "Oh, okay, well it's actually not that bad." And next thing you know, you're part of what they're doing and when somebody new comes by, you tell them, "Well, hey, like I'm doing it. You should be able to do it too."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just like a little monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. Well, if they can do it, then it must be okay if I do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's fucking crazy. And god damn, like you don't people don't realize this, but like it's a term I always use. Like the human species is basically a hive mind because we all share similar thoughts, similar experiences, and we follow the leader basically. We haven't gotten this
Hmm.
far without following each other's steps, following through history, and especially with like world building, especially with like building a city from a desert. Because why? Because we already figured out how to do it previously. It's not going to be as tough as it was centuries ago.
Yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, like it's fucking terrifying. Like humans are scary if you think about it. We fucking evolved from almost nothing, and we used our own abilities. Like not a lot of animals could sweat if you think about it,
Hmm.
and us humans, we have that like just from the get-go, and that's fucking terrifying. Like imagine yourself as a mammoth, right? And you
Hmm.
you see like these fucking apes running at you with spears, and you just continue running and running and running. You go on it for like a whole fucking day, and they're still fucking chasing you, and you're fucking tired. Your legs are giving out, and they're still
Yep.
fucking chasing you, and they just poke you to death, and you're still alive, feeling all that. And you're like, what the fuck? I'm actually dying. These people caught up with me. Like an animal that fucking big taken down by like a group of people who just chased you on for hours. What the
Yep.
fuck?
Yeah, humans are crazy with like being able to run marathons. Like people just run marathons because they want to do that. They will just put their body through the most extreme conditions
Mm-hmm.
and to reach like these like a peak performance that they want and run a marathon. They're just like, yeah, you know what? Today I'm just gonna run like 10 miles without stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just so crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're done. They're like, okay, well, guess I'll do it tomorrow again.
Yeah. Like the
And
resilience is almost insane because we could literally survive getting shot to the head. There's been several instances of people getting shit thrown into their fucking skull, and they still
yep.
survived. Like there was this case of this guy who got a whole fucking metal pipe struck through his fucking
Hmm.
brain, and they
I
managed to
remember.
perfectly get that shit out. And he looked like a normal kid, literally. Like he
Yeah.
was chilling. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. It's crazy how the mind will just evolve to save itself
Mm-hmm.
when it needs to.
No, for
On the
real,
inverse, it can also be very fragile.
definitely.
It's weird. It's weird. Like it can be so strong. It's like a glass cannon.
Mm-hmm.
It can be this resilient, just unstoppable tool for yourself, and at the same time be your biggest enemy. It can be
Mm-hmm.
your downfall, where no matter what you do, you find yourself in a spiral of mistakes, of just like bad thoughts. It leads to like depression and anxiety and feelings of angst, where
Mm-hmm.
you question even your existence, like why am I alive, why bother waking up.
Mm-hmm.
But then next thing you know, you manage to turn things around, and 2 years, 1 year, 5 years later, you're like back on top of the world.
For real. And it's a beautiful thing if you think about it. Like us humans are very emotional, very communicative species. We need each other to stay alive. Essentially, without one or the other, we are nothing. And
Hmm.
we feel a lot of things. I'm gonna tell you about my one of my personal experiences. I have a job that basically is door to door selling, and
Hmm.
I meet like all walks of life. I meet like so many kinds of people, a lot of assholes too. Like at some point, I did kind of fuck up my own training and did become a dickhead towards some people. And sure, I have regrets about it, but at the same time, I just hope they understand that I'm just doing it to stay alive, you know.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
other than that, like I met this old lady. She was basically in a wheelchair. We were knocking around mobile home parks, and we were just
Hmm.
going around, just telling them about what we're doing today, just selling an alarm system and whatnot. I saw her, and it was really weird because she told me they put like this little sign that said, deliveries stay here, knock over to the garage or some shit. I did that. I
Hmm.
knocked and just told her about what we're doing today, and then I saw her. She looked like really old. Really, she was stuck to a wheelchair. From what I could see, her place was like a mess, and she was really lonely. She lost a lot of her family members who didn't like her at all, and she was just
Hmm.
there lonely as hell after her spouse just died. She was a widow, and I'm like, God damn, that sucks, you know? Like I decided to say just I'm like, fuck the job, let me just talk with her and just talk with her about her experiences and tell her about what I'm feeling as well because I don't want her to feel alone. And she didn't have like a leg, like she had lost a leg entirely, and I'm like, God damn. I hugged her, yeah, like she's a person who like is like lost to time, and I genuinely don't want to see her go out like that, but sometimes you can't really do much with these kinds of jobs. All you could offer is comfort and hope that they
Hmm.
remembered you and they could keep going, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of crazy what I get to see every day. I mean, sometimes it's really fun, sometimes it's really depressing. Like the depressing moments are like very rare, I'll be honest. Sometimes I'll just see some funny ass shit that happens, and overall, like the job is not boring, you know? It's a lot of shit that
Yeah.
happens, a lot of fun shit we do with my peers as well. I mean, I don't want to dox myself and say what my job is actually, but like it's door to door essentially.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. But
Um.
yeah, like let's go back to your car crash. Like, how the fuck did that
Oh.
happen?
Um. So I had woken up and I had to go to the store to open because I was working that day.
Mm-hmm.
And in a hurry, I was just like, okay, I woke up late. So I only had like the drive there is like 20 minutes. And I think I woke up with like 25 minutes before I had to open the store. And usually I'm supposed to be there 15 minutes early to get everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
So already in my head, I'm like, I'm pretty much not going to be there at my scheduled time. But I'm like, okay, usually nobody's there first thing in the morning on a Sunday. So I'm like, okay, I think I should be fine. Like, I just need to hurry up and get ready and just get there. So I brushed my teeth, got my work clothes ready. Uh, I was out the door and it had rained the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So I get in the car. I'm driving there, and the road I'm driving on is very bendy. It's almost like a racetrack. It's just like loop, not a loop, but like it's just like a bend.
Like some initial
And
D
on the
tracks.
a little bit, not quite as like drift heavy. You
Yeah,
probably could
yeah.
drift through them, but it's not like a very drifty kind of thing. But it is
Mm-hmm.
like it's just like a bend,
Mm-hmm.
and on the first bend, I was going, and I was just going too fast. I shouldn't have been going as fast as I was on a rainy road, like a wet road. It was still kind of wet from the night before when it
Uh-huh.
had rained. And as I was turning, I literally felt like the tire slip. Like the car was just suddenly
Oh no.
I was going so the bend was towards the left. So like I was turning the wheel slightly to the left to follow the curve. and all of a sudden I just see the car like swerving inward towards the guardrail, and I'm like, "Oh my god, is this actually happening?"
Mhm.
And like a bunch of lights on the dash started to light up because like the car had lost traction, and something I forgot what other one, but I was like, "Oh my god." And so because I got so frightened in that immediate moment, that I was inching towards the guardrail, I hit the brakes, which then immediately locked the brakes, and I turned it to the other side, to the right, to try and correct it. And that basically put me into a drift,
Oh, no.
the wrong way, going the wrong way. So the car starts slide it's literally like drifting essentially,
Mhm.
and I'm barreling essentially off the road, and it's like on the grass, into this ditch. But right before the ditch, there's this red Mustang, and I'm like, "Oh my fucking!" I'm going right towards this
Oh,
Mustang,
fuck.
and I and it's facing the wrong way. So its headlights are facing towards me instead of me going into its rear end, like the tail lights.
Mhm.
And my thoughts are like, I really hope no one's in that car right now. Like, if that maybe is just like an empty car somebody left there, maybe they're trying to sell. Sometimes people will leave cars on the side of the road for sale or whatever.
Yeah.
And the car slides, and I just head on collided with it. And
Ooh.
like all the airbags deployed, there's like broken glass everywhere.
Mhm.
And for like the first like 10 seconds, I thought I was just dead. Like I just heard like ringing and like a bunch of white, and I'm like, dude, I think I'm like, is this it? Like, am I dead?
Mhm.
Um, and then after kind of like coming to, I was like, okay, I'm not dead. I just crashed, and my first thought was, I need to call my mom and let her know that I just crashed. So I like panicked, and I started looking for my phone, and I grabbed it and I called her. I'm like, hey, just to let you know, I just got into like a really bad accident. Like all the airbags are deployed. There's a bunch of glass. I told her where I was. She's like, oh my god, I'll be right there. Okay. So I'm like, okay. And then I immediately called my boss. I'm like, um, hey dude, I just got into an accident. I don't think I'm gonna work. And he's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm alive." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'll be there. I'll basically take your shift." I'm like, "Okay, I appreciate it, whatever." He's like, "Yeah, just let me know what happens, like when you'll be available or whatever. Just get better." I was like, "Okay." So I then opened the car door, which took a little effort because like the panel was like kind of pushed in from like the collision. So I pushed the car door open and I got out, and I try to stand up, and immediately like my right hip, like it just there's a like a sharp pain if I try to stand up.
Oh, no.
So I was like, okay, well, I guess my hip is just kind of hurt from the collision. Um but I made my way over to the other car to make sure there was nobody in there, and like the whole time I'm like, I'm just praying. I'm like, dude, please don't let there be anybody in here. And somebody had already stopped and was like on the phone with the police, I guess,
Mhm.
like another bystander. And I
Uh-huh.
turned the corner, and they had opened the door already, and there was a guy in there in
Oh
that red
my
Mustang.
oh my fucking
And
god.
I was just like, dude, I was like, why is this guy here? Like, what is this car doing here? And I saw him like holding his leg, and then like the guy on the phone had already got done telling them where we were and whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, dude, he's like, I'm like a paramedic, I'm like off duty or something, yada yada." He's like, "Yeah, he just broke his leg." I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "Dude, how did he break his leg?" I'm just like, of all things, like if anything, my leg should have been broken. How did he break his leg? The only thing
Mhm.
I'm thinking about is like, I'm like, this is gonna kill my insurance or whatever.
Mhm.
But I made sure, well, I didn't wanna talk to the guy in the car because, like, halfway, I was kinda, like, peeved that he was here facing with his car facing the wrong way,
Mhm.
but at the second time, I also felt, like, shame. I'm like, "Dude, I don't really wanna talk to this guy because I feel really bad that I just crashed into him."
Yeah.
So, after confirming that he was, like, more or less okay, I just went back to my car, and I just sat down in the driver's seat, and I just waited, and, um eventually the guy's dad came by too, or someone in his family. I don't know if it was his dad, but he was like, he's like, no, yeah, we get it, like, because I think he was talking to my mom. So he's like, yeah, we get it, like, accidents happen, just thank goodness everyone's okay, yada yada. And he's like, yeah, this road is really dangerous. Like this happens a lot on this road. And as he was saying that, like not even like a minute later, as the tow truck and the ambulance had closed the right lane off to
Mm-hmm.
like take the car out to get it towed or whatever,
Yeah.
someone almost immediately crashed again. Like
No
right
way.
there. Like they're like that guy was like probably like 2 inches away from like rear ending at someone else because he just wasn't going slow enough. Like we just heard like a screeching, like tire screeching, and
Uh-huh.
then like the car came to a halt and it was like so close to rear ending like another car in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And and then like we just looked at him and we're like, yeah, this is not a good road. Um, so yeah, he got taken to, on an ambulance to the hospital or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the ambulance were like, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" I was like, "No, I'm good." I was like,
I'm
"I'm
I'm
good, bro."
s- I'm straight, bro. Like if the car accident didn't kill me, the fucking ambulance bill will.
Yeah, essentially, I was like, "I'm just gonna thug it out, bro." And
I'm straight, bro.
I went home, I laid down, and I was just in bed essentially for like 2 days. I just straight thugged it out,
Dude, you're
and then
fucking crazy, dog. You're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna let the hospital bill kill me.
yeah.
Did you? I'm
Uh,
thinking you took ibuprofen at least to just fucking numb out the fucking pain on your hip. No.
yeah, I think I took some like pain meds, just like like Tylenol, ibuprofen, like relievers,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, after like 2 or 3 days, I told my boss, I was like, okay, well, I think I'm good to go now, and then I
Mm-hmm.
just went back to work,
Do you still
and that
feel
was
that
it.
pain every now and then, or did it just heal entirely?
No, I still feel it. Like, um, I think if I like walk too much, or if like I put a lot of pressure on my right leg and like my
Mm-hmm.
hip, like I'll feel it
Oh
later.
shit.
So
For
it's
me,
not
it's
like completely
weird.
healed.
Yeah, for me, it's weird because I injured myself at work, right? So they
Hmm.
were having me unload this big truck with boxes, and these boxes are like what, pretty heavy. Sometimes they're really light, but like the truck we got was like fucking heavy. Like these boxes were like a what, 20, 15 pounds. And I was
Hmm.
leading a group to just unload all of it, organize it, and then just have it hauled up in the warehouse, you know. And I was lifting some of these boxes, and then I fucking felt a pain through my leg, which went to my back. Turns out I
Hmm.
fucking pinched a nerve, and that shit, I still fucking feel that post
Yeah.
being laid off. And it
Yeah. No,
sucks
that.
too.
Yeah.
Like you could injure yourself, like you could sleep the wrong way, and then you just feel like shit. Your entire body just fucking hurts.
Hmm.
It
Yep.
sucks. I mean, I gotta go back to physical therapy to be fair, just to get that fucking leg checked up on. I mean, it's not necessarily like a thing that's fucking holding me back like it was back then. It's more like
Hmm.
it's just a fucking annoyance, you know?
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. Chronic pain and just even just like this. I've heard like even people just sneezing, and the
Yeah.
force of that sneeze like throws out like a vertebrae in their spine,
Yeah.
and it's just over. Like this is like chronic pain from there, just from a sneeze,
Yeah, bro.
and it's just
Like
like,
for me,
damn.
it was like I sneezed one time and I fucking felt my lungs, bro.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have a sneeze where like I feel it in like my joints. Like my joints just start
Hmm.
feeling kind of achy. I'm like, what the? I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I this old already?
Yeah. Dude, I have the. You ever smoked pot or like smoked weed?
Yeah.
All right, how was your first time doing that when you did it the first time?
Um. So when I first did it, I think I was in like sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um. And I remember my friends were telling me how to do it,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, just like inhale a little bit and then like suck it into your lungs. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, what the hell does that even mean? So I'm like, okay, let me try. So I took a hit and I tried it, and as soon as I exhaled, it like just, my lungs immediately died. Like I was just coughing,
Yeah.
just straight coughing, like my lungs out, because I was like, I guess I had done it wrong or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so there's like a lot of coughing, and then I think I took like maybe one more hit. I was like, oh, let me retry again, and it was kind of similar. Like I didn't cough nearly as bad,
Yeah.
but it was still like I don't know how to do it yet. So
Yeah.
but I still had like a slight buzz from those like two hits, and I just remember thinking I was like, everything is just kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Things feel weird, and
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. It was just like a good feeling, but even though I just coughed my lungs out, it was still like a good feeling. I was like, I'm enjoying this. I'm kind of hungry now, but it's funny. We went back to we went back inside and we just started like playing video games, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, this is like a pleasant experience. So I just kept kind of going on with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me it was like
And
completely different. Like your experience was very mild. Mine was like kind of fucking funny and a little crazy.
mhm.
So we were this was some couple of coworkers I knew. And
uh
they told me they're like, "Oh, hit this shit." Like I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm good." Like I was scared of like messing with nicotine kind of shit. I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm good."
mhm,
Like, "Oh, it's
mhm.
water vapor." First rule of whenever someone offers you something and they say it's water vapor, do not fucking trust it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just see how this feels. Whatever. I'll just take a hit. I coughed a little bit, but I did manage to hit it without coughing that much. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
whatever. Later on, like I was like still working with them, and then I felt a little funny, like my lungs felt like a little bit on fire, and I just thought
Uh-huh.
nothing of it. I thought I was like feeling like I just thought it was just hot outside, you know. And I was just
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
with like some of the coworkers, and they're like, "Yo, bro, you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm straight." Like I didn't really understand it at first, like I didn't think much of it, but later on, like another day goes by or a couple days later, they tell me to try it again. I'm like, all right, whatever. This is probably not gonna be as bad as like the first time I did it, so it's probably nothing. I hit it,
Mhm.
and then around 7:45, I realized, wait a fucking minute. These motherfuckers were lying to me. And I'm like, I immediately knew because my brain immediately thought, dude, you're high. You're high. You're high. And then I immediately started fucking panicking and shit. Like, you motherfuckers dope me up.
That's
And they're like, no, no, no,
crazy.
you're good, bro. You're straight. Don't worry. And then we were just they were just talking with like, yo, type your name out. And then they gave me my phone, right? I typed in my name, and my fucking I just looked at the screen. I'm like, I just looked at it for a hot minute, and then I typed the letter slowly, and then I give it back to him, and I'm like, and you're like, yeah, bro, you're straight. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just fucking tripping right now. Maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe it's nothing. And then I realized, wait, why do I feel fucking numb? And then I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, they already the homie the coworkers already gave me some water and whatnot, so I already had water and I was just drinking it. And
Mhm.
then later on, I just panicked even more and whatnot. And I just realized, wait, I am actually high. And then I just closed my eyes and realized, wait, if I just shut everything down, I should be straight. No, that was my kind of logic. Turns out, not
Yeah.
really, because your fucking audio cues also get fucked up. And
Yep.
I started
Yep.
hearing double. I started hearing them repeat sentences. I'm like, this makes no fucking sense, and I'm stuck in this fucking doped up body. It's like your body
Yep.
moves on autopilot, and then our boss comes by or comes to pick us up after the shift is ended, and we get
Mhm.
driven home. And so I'm sitting in the back, and just told me just play the quiet game. You're straight, bro. Whenever they tell you to play the quiet game, they're just telling you to do not fucking say shit, bro. I was a fucking full on mouthpiece when that happened. I
Uh-huh.
couldn't shut the fuck up. And later on, while we were talking, while they were talking, they got to me and like, and they're like, "Yo, dude, you good?" Well, that was my boss picking us up, and he's very chill. Trust me,
Mhm.
he's very like cool as fuck. So when he found out, like he was fucking surprised as hell. Like, and they're telling me who has it? Like, who the fuck gave him that shit? And the other guy had to take the hit for it, his other buddy who gave me the fucking
Mhm.
pen. So I didn't realize I took a fat rip off the Benjamin, and I was just doped up. And I
That's
thought the dude on my left
crazy.
who was sitting next to me was looking at me, and I just keep turning to him. I'm like, what the fuck? And it gets
Damn.
even fucking funnier, and I'm just like, yo, why are we moving so slow? Like, yo, dude, you would drive normally faster than this. It's like, dude, we're not in the highway, we're in the interstate. And then and then I started saying some random bullshit. I'm like, dude, I think I'm schizophrenic. And bro, it was
tweaking.
I was tweaking the fuck out. And then once we got to my car, I like told him, motherfucker, I cannot drive. You're taking my whip. Fuck you, by the way. But like, I'll probably laugh about this like in a month from now. And I am like that whole experience was funny as fuck. Like, shout out to them. Like, if it wasn't for them, like, I wouldn't have never felt the experience of weed. Even if it was like even if like from the first standpoint, it was like a really bad trip. Like once I understand what was happening, I realized like I was stressing out over like not much in reality.
Yeah, I think
And
there's a really big stigma against it.
yeah, there's like a real big stigma against it, but once you like understand what the logic happened, like I was just seeing fucking psychedelics, right? That's it. And it was like it was THC that I took, so that shit was strong.
Yeah.
And then like they drove my car, and god damn, the experience was even more trippy because there was like a homeless lady, right? And I saw her, and they're like, "Yo, you got some water?" Like they were talking between like my other two coworkers. And they're like, "Nah, bro, the homie greened out over here." And then and from my POV, right, I dapped up that homeless lady, and then they're like, "No, bro, you're gonna be straight. You're gonna be all right. Don't worry. It's just a bad trip." And then turns out, when I told them that story later, they're like, "Dude, you were sitting in the passenger seat. You weren't dapping up anybody." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they were driving my car, right? And this gets even crazier because knowing for a fact, like one of my homies, like he was a homie afterwards. He was a coworker that became homie type shit. And then he was driving my car. This dude like drives like fast, type shit. And like for me knowing that, like I trust his ability to drive because he knows what he's doing. He's done this shit for much longer than I have. But after that, like he turned on the lights, and then I just started looking at the road, and this motherfucker driving in fucking circles, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I had to close. I had to close my eyes, and the audio cues were just as fucked up because every time I would open my eyes, I would see the fucking high beams thing turned on and off, on and off. And I know for a fact he's not doing that just for the hell of it. I knew for a fact I was just seeing shit, and I'm like, and every time I would see the high beams turned on from my dash, the lights would be off entirely from my POV. I'm like, what? This makes no fucking sense. Like all the, because I'm a very, I think about the attention to detail on everything, and that really tripped me out because I pay attention to like the smallest of things. And when I was fucking seeing that bullshit, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking high. It's I gotta pray to God that these people will actually take care of me and will drive me home, And I'm like, thank God they managed to get home. Like they were driving my whip. They're like, bro, you got some nice brakes, and I know for a fact like he actually meant that because I don't drive my car much. I only got like what 10,000 miles on that bitch, and dude, like they were just trying to encourage me and whatnot, and my body was like really sensitive to temperatures as well. So I'm like, yo, dude, I'm fucking cold, and it was like 70 degrees on the on my AC, and they just turned it to warm. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I feel so
fucking off
fucking
the cart night?
Yeah, and then later on, they were just encouraging me, just trying to like keep me straight, And at that point, I was like a bit pissed off since they fucking doped me up, obviously. But at the same time, I was thinking about it like, I did it. I did it. I did this towards myself. Nobody could have. I'm a grown ass person. Why am I fucking mad about them? Yeah, So like, it's whatever. Like, this was on me. I agree entirely. I'm not blaming them at all. This was full on my fucking doing. I took a hit off the Benjamin. Actually, I took a fat hit in reality.
Yeah, word.
And while walking, it felt really weird because I felt like I was walking on fucking air, or I felt like really soft concrete. So it was so fucking weird. They rode up the elevator. They took me to my door, and like, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like, and oh my god, once I got home, I just one of my siblings was there, right? So they're like, "Yo, dude, can I use your PC?" And I'm like, I was just talking really slow. I'm like, "No, I'm good." Like,
Like, and they're like, "Did you get bullied?" I'm like, "No, I did not." And I just changed immediately into like some more warm clothing, and then
Mhm.
my mom's made some beans, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Why do I feel so hungry?" I'm like, "Fuck it." I just poured some beans on a plate, and then I realized, wait, don't we have some like those some we got some Uncrustables like we just recently bought. And
Mhm.
bro, I destroyed that entire box. That bitch was new.
Oh my
That bitch was
god.
new straight up. And and I was just eating beans. I'm like, I'm just fucking eating. Just
Yeah.
eating. And I'm like, bro, why do I feel so fucking hungry? My homie calls me like, they're like, yo, dude, like, we're gonna get Ubered up, like, and we're just gonna go back to our cars. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And like, they're like, are you eating right now? I'm like, yeah. You got the you're like I'm like, why does this food taste so good, dog? And like,
Yeah.
yeah, he got the munchies. And I'm like, okay,
Uh,
dude, like, all right, this is the effects of weed, whatever. It'll probably wear off after tomorrow. And then
yeah.
once I ate a whole bunch, I realized I gotta go to sleep, try to like sleep through this fucking mess.
Uh-huh.
And I put on a beanie just so I couldn't see shit because I was just paranoid about seeing fucked up shit. And during that time, my mood was like not in the best of moments because I was just feeling down. My mood wasn't at the best. So I just decided,
Mhm.
let me just put on a beanie and just cover my eyes entirely so I don't see shit. Turns out like that wasn't the best of plans because I also started hearing impossible shit like someone banging at a gate, like a barbed
Mhm.
wire gate. I'm like, God damn it! I'm hearing coworkers fucking yell right now, and they're not even here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God fucking damn it. Like, I just gotta get over this experience. Next day, what's it called? It's called like a hangover for weed, something like that. And my fucking
Mhm.
senses were heightened to 11. I felt like fucking Peter Parker got his spider sense. Because I
Yeah.
started paying attention to the smallest of noises or like the smallest of details of things for no fucking reason. And then I talked with my boss. I came back to the office. And they're like, and I told them, hey, did everything that happened in that car was real? He's like, yeah, yeah, it did happen. And I'm like, oh my fucking god, I was just ashamed though. I was just like, bro, I'm so fucking sorry I did that. That's on me, bro. He's like, no, bro, you
Mhm.
good. Like, just be careful next time. Like, nobody should bring that kind of shit to the work job. I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. Like, this was on me. I was just gullible as hell to believe them, you know. But other than that,
Yeah.
it was all on me, but at the same time, no bad blood. This was just like a bad trip. And at the end of the day, I'm laughing about it with you and telling this story out to like a fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I
don't,
mean, mhm.
and I'm not remotely, what's it called, mad with them. I'm just like, just be careful out there because you never know.
Mhm.
And just be careful with your peeps. That's it. Like, even if they do offer you something, just take it with a grain of salt and just know that something could happen, but just be careful, really.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good advice.
no, yeah, definitely. Like for me, like I'm glad I met those kind of people that are just chill with me. Like they understand that I don't want to be doing such things like at a young age, like because I don't want to be addicted to it, not necessarily because I drink as well. I could drink like 3 shots of tequila and be like semi okay, a little bit of buzzed, you know. Obviously,
Yeah.
like I could handle alcohol better than I could handle fucking weed. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying it out again in the near future, more like whenever my day is free, like for the entire day, you know?
Mhm.
But other than that, like I don't see myself doing it as much. But I could see myself doing it every now and then, you know?
Yeah, that's why it helps so you don't develop like an immunity.
True.
Not necessarily an immunity, but like a tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
The more you do it, the more you like the next high won't be as good, and then you eventually end up needing more and more and like more constant. Um so if you just do it from here and there, it'll feel pretty good, like pretty intense every time,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty good. And um I mean, yeah, most of the time I can hardly think of any time I've had a bad trip with marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely been a few times, and I remember them, but it's not many.
Mm-hmm.
I just do remember one time when I was at my friend's house, and we had, lit up, and I don't remember what was going on at the time, but I remember hearing a lot of police sirens. And at the time, weed was like heavily stigmatized. Like this was around like um this is when like people were getting like locked up for like just the smallest amount of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it always made us paranoid to like hear, police sirens. Like we had just smoked. We have like a decent amount of it because we do it fairly regularly. So that made me really paranoid just hearing a ton of like police sirens around. And that wasn't a good time, just thinking like of every possible worst scenario that could happen.
Yeah.
But like I said, nothing really ended up happening, and I'm here now
Mm-hmm.
to just talk about it.
For real. I mean, I feel like that was like one of my funniest, but also most scary experiences of weed. It's now
Hmm.
funny for me because I trip balls straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was probably like the longest I'll say episode that's gonna come up within December 12th that we recorded.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to drop this later, but dude, it was nice talking with you again. It's been a minute since we like talked this long. Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean it's dude, you're hella chill. Really cool guy. You're one of the definitely one of the better people to have met out of the Skullgirls community, and that's saying a lot because I know a lot of good people from there.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I mean, yeah, it's a pleasure to be able to chat with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I wish you happy holidays. It's Thanksgiving today, but
Mm-hmm.
very very soon. Days have been kind of going like the a blink of an eye.
For
Really,
real.
like I remember thinking, "Wow, we're barely into November. This is gonna be kind of a long month, and now we're here.
For
One more
real.
day, and
Yup.
we're done, and we're headed into December, and now it'll be 2025."
Other than that, I know you quit at SGM and forever for sure. The reason why I like doing these kind of talks with like other peers, especially with former players like you, is because you
Hmm.
left a, I would say you left a legacy behind because for one, you not only did you set up the Fukua bullshit that you did, like you max out a Fukua, you
Yeah.
also unironically inspired Lemon to do the same thing and basically copy your whole flow. Like, sure, it's a little bit bad, but at the same time,
Hmm.
it's a little inspiration,
Yeah.
especially with me as well because I wailed as well. I still play, but at the same time,
Hmm.
I think your influence also has covered some peers as well. The way you play, the way you act towards the game as well. But yeah,
Hmm.
like I don't want to like just leave you to obscurity, even though you do have a YouTube channel that I will definitely feature you in when I post a fucking podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't touched it in forever, but I had planned to upload like a ton of relic openings, and I'm just like
Hmm.
I'm so freaking lazy to do that.
I mean,
But
other
maybe
than
one of these
that,
days I'll do that.
other than
Hmm.
that, with you quitting SGM, do you have any future plans with that YouTube channel or not really?
I mean, I still have like a glimmer, like a small spark deep down. Like what? Maybe one of these days they'll lock in, and maybe
Hmm.
maybe we'll get something notable, and I
Hmm.
and I can come back fully.
Yeah.
Um, right now I'm a little intrigued to see. I really like Manette.
Hmm.
Like her character design, and it's kind of cool to see her get added. So I might pop in to check that out and maybe do something. But I
Hmm.
wouldn't really consider myself wanting to play full time, especially because Nikkei is its own time sink. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was a time where I had planned to do guides, kind of just
Hmm.
like informative guides of what I do,
Hmm.
in case anybody, because I was rather proud of where I had left my Fukua, my splitting image, and my shadow puppet. I feel like they were probably some of the best built in the game. Obviously, there was some crazy whale that had absolutely every maxed stat
Mm-hmm.
possible in the right way. Whatever. Aside from him, I'm more so in the Discord. I felt like I had one of like the most best built
Mm-hmm.
Fukuas in the games, and so and just in case anybody asks, I'm like, hey, this is how I did it. This is what I did. Aside from whaling, this is the most efficient way to go about it, and so I just wanted to kind of let people know about it. So for now,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't plan to really do anything with it. Like that was a channel dedicated to SGM, and I don't really play SGM, so only
Mm-hmm.
thing that would ever be uploaded there would be, like I said, those relic openings that I
Mm-hmm.
had planned to upload.
Do you still use that YouTube channel every now and then? Not like upload wise, but just like watching YouTube shit, or do you just have an alt?
No, that SGM one was my alt. So I have like my main that I've had forever, and then I made that one just so it could be specifically for SGM, that so the algorithm wouldn't get messed with. I had it specifically set for other stuff there.
Okay, for sure. I'll probably just feature that YouTube channel just in case someone wants to look through like a guide that you definitely posted about moves.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'll definitely include that in because this is basically just legacy shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
like it's a little dated, but it still works technically. So it
No,
doesn't
yeah. I
really age
mean,
that much.
I think if they haven't changed anything really to retakes, then I mean it's still a really good guide to get you know very focused and very specific
Mm-hmm.
moves built for whatever build you're going for.
For
If you want a
sure.
pure attack build, if you want a pure HP build for defense, if you want a crit build,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It kind of goes into depth for that.
Well, I think we've extended this talk for like an hour and 41 minutes now. Well,
That way, yeah, it's been
happy
quite a while.
holidays. December's coming up as well, so this will be posted around, I'm gonna say, around December 9th. Actually, December 8th. Because I
Okay.
usually like uploading at the end of the week because I usually work Monday to Saturday, you know.
Hmm.
I took off
Yeah,
today
yeah.
because, well, it's Thanksgiving. But yeah, I'll see you guys December 12th. Happy holidays, by the way. Whatever you guys celebrating. Happy Hanukkah, happy Thanksgiving, whatever. Happy holidays, though. And
Yeah, for sure, man.
yeah, we'll see you guys later.
All right, man.
Well,
I'll
take
catch you
care.
later.
Take care, Haya.
You too, man. Catch you later.